one of the top experts in the world on sales.
King of collaboration.
He's on the cutting edge, and what he does works.
Jim Padilla.
CEO of Gain the Edge.
He is the leader when it comes to sales and conversions.
A sales and business coach to some of the biggest names in the country.
Jim Padilla is known as the go-to guy for all things sales.
All right. Hello. Welcome to the Make More Sales podcast. And it's the Jim and Cyndi live show here. And today we are going to be talking about eliminating the hustle and grind and becoming easy to find with the power of positioning. And I'm kind of really leaning into this today as we're kicking off a week of diving into this in a Facebook challenge that we are having, positioning with prejudice. Right, with prejudice. And what I mean with that, of course, is not with discrimination. I mean, doing this stuff with some reckless abandon. I think everybody's way too careful in how we want to be seen by everybody, instead of recognizing that the very energy you're putting into trying to be something is taking away from you being you. And the most effective thing you can do is be positioned as the absolute expert that you are. So we're going to dive into that today in the next few minutes here. Jim and Cyndi here with Gain the Edge, and help let us know as you're watching here. Are you live with us here, or are you on the recording? Help us out with that. Hashtag live, hashtag recording. And I want you to type in hashtag positioning. Hashtag positioning. If this is a journey that you've been struggling with as well, how do we get you to a place where your positioning is so powerful and so unique and so awesome that everybody knows who you are and what you do and why you do it and how you do it and why they should be in your world in the first place? Hello, Cyndi. Jump in. I'm throwing it to you. And I'm like,
oh, you always do that.
That's right. You got to be ready.
I'm ready, bud. I'm ready. Hold on. I'm looking at my notes over here because I made some posts on your page as well as ours. And yeah, I think this is really relevant. I'm sure there's people that are watching, and I know people that we work with where, everybody's working diligently to be seen, to be found, to generate leads, right? That's the end result. We all need leads so we can have appointments, so we can close sales. And so, raise your hand if you're out there and, you're doing everything right. You're posting, you've created funnels, you have emails, you're consistent, you've attempted Facebook ads, you're in YouTube, and you still feel invisible. You still get crickets. That's where Jim and I want to really help you, is go from that grind. That's the grind of always trying to generate leads, trying to be found. We're going to help you get found.
The whole goal here is that selling becomes easier, right? Why do you need to be found? Why do leads need to be happening in the first place? Lead gen is a part of the process, simply because you need to make sure that you are moving people to a place where you can convert them into a committed buyer. Right? We want people to find you and say, yes, I need what you have, and I want you to help me, right? And that is so much easier done when you're positioned as the ideal solution in the first place, right? Some of the keys that we're going to be diving into today around our Leads Made Easy lab that we're running through today as a 5-day live challenge. We're going to help you see how selling becomes easier, right? We're going to help you experience less pressure and stop pushing to the wrong sale. I hear from people all the time that, oh no, I only sell to the right people. I don't pressure people. I have never in my entire life ever met a salesperson of any kind who doesn't at some point cross the line because you need the sale to happen. Whether it's you need to make a quota, you just need the revenue, right? You just need this to happen. You're frustrated and you haven't had a win in a while. There's a million reasons why we push harder than we should, right? And when you have the right conversations with the right people at the right time about the right things, you eliminate that to begin with, right? And part of having those conversations, the right conversation with the right person at the right time about the right things, is being positioned in their world as the ideal solution to the key problem that they have to begin with, so that the yes just becomes easier. right? Your clarity is greater, your confidence and certainty is higher, easier for you to tell the truth, right? I'm probably hitting on some buttons. And again, we're going to dive into this stuff in some depth this week. But, raise your hand if you tell the truth. Raise your hand if you think you tell the truth all the time to everyone. I hope, I'm going to stand back in case lightning strikes you, because I don't think any of us actually do that, right? We always exaggerate something. Truth is, is it black and white? Is it a spectrum? Right? But most of the time, if we don't have the level of confidence, certainty, and clarity that's necessary, then we fudge it a little bit. We inflate numbers. We inflate our expertise. We don't tell them the whole truth because we don't want to scare them away, all those things. But when you're clear, when you're the expert of your 1-inch mile, which we're going to dive into more again this week as well, right? It's about you being that master of that 1-inch wide, mile deep lane of expertise, the 1-inch mile, right? What are all the things you should know and be able to speak to as the expert of that 1-inch mile? You're curious to find out more about that and see how that will help? You're going to want to find out. You're going to want to jump into this challenge with us as we move this week.
Yeah. And I know Jim talks really fast and says a lot of things. I just want to go back to how we started that conversation. And he talks about saying 4 things in your conversation that make it possible, but for you to say the right things to the right person at the right time about the right things. Like that sounds really, really, really simple. But if you are missing one or all of those elements, that's when you have zero positioning. You feel invisible and your leads and prospects are completely confused. So it's really that simple. Are you saying the right thing to the right people at the right time about the right things? But for you to do that, like Jim just said, that's where your clarity is paramount.
Yeah, you got to be clear, right? And so this is going to be a kind of a short episode because we want to give you some, just those questions alone. I want you to be able to adopt those and say, okay, what does that really mean to me? How do I know I'm having the right conversation with the right people at the right time about the right thing? Just unpack each one of those. How many times are you talking to the person who fits everything about your avatar? In business, the right amount of time, make the right amount of money, they're the right age, the right sex, the right positioning, they have the right number of kids, all the things that you are always taught so that you know who's your ideal avatar. But they're not at the right space of the journey yet. They're not at that ultimate place of readiness, need, and desire to want to take that action, right? Maybe you're talking to them, maybe you're having the right conversation, but you're having it with the wrong person. Maybe it's not the ideal person that makes that decision. Maybe, there's so many different little nuances that we don't think about, right? That don't come into the avatar exercise, right? And having the right conversation. Maybe the conversation shouldn't be about, are you ready to buy this thing? Maybe the conversation should only be about, are you actually ready to solve this problem? And maybe before that, the right conversation should be, how clearly connected to you are you to the problem that you actually have, so that you know how to identify it, how to diagnose it, how to see the cost of it in your business or in your life, right? So can you see that there's a multitude of different conversations that you could be having? And too many times we're having the conversation of, are you ready to buy?
Yeah.
And they don't even know what it is they should be buying because they haven't even connected themselves to the problem, or the awareness that the solution exists, and that the fact that it's even costing them anything, even beyond their business, right?
Yeah. So you need to show up today because we are going to unpack this. Today is my favorite part of the training because there's an exercise called the waterfall exercise, but it really is about that readiness, needs, and desires journey that your ideal client is on. And then where are you in your desire and ability to serve on their journey? Where do you really want to help people? And exactly how. And don't think that what you're hearing right now has anything to do with a traditional exercise about finding your avatar and or your niche, because it doesn't. This is completely different in how we approach sales.
So the whole objective here is that we want to get you to lose the hustle and grind and become easy to find, right? Because when that happens, the end game here, we're a sales training company. Why are we talking about leads and marketing and positioning? Because I have a simple simple choice for you to make right now. Do you want to learn how to become a master sales guru? Somebody who masters sales, who rocks it, who understands all the strategy, all the tactics, all the nuance and everything involved? Or do you want to start pursuing your dreams, start pursuing your mission, your purpose, and your vision so that the right people show up for you to talk to in the first place? Right? So you can either focus all your time and effort on structuring your world in such a way that the right people show up to buy, or you can put yourself into the grind and the killer journey of trying to become the master of sales, which there aren't very many of, right?
Yeah.
Not too many. That's not what you're in business to do. If that is your pure desire, then I encourage you to do it and I can put you on that path. But you're here for other purposes. So we want to help you actually attain those purposes by putting money in your pocket because you're learning how to attract people that want to buy from you and will invest, right? Amen. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So let's get you, raise your hand, say, yes, I am all in. I want that ultimate positioning. I want to be easy to find. So actually just make that hashtag easy to find. You put hashtag easy to find, we'll drop the link in so you can register. It starts today at 2 p.m. Pacific live. And it's gonna be, we have a journey through the rest of this week that's gonna help you put this all together, get some clarity on some things that you probably didn't even know were problems yet. And we're gonna help you see why powerful positioning is going to change the game for you and put you on a path to making sure that actually happens.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Make More Sales podcast. If you like what you're hearing, you'll definitely want to check out our Make More Sales Facebook group, where you'll find more amazing content, including free sales training and live content happening every single week. So make sure to follow the link below to join. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show, and share it with your friends. That way, more people can learn how to make more sales without getting better at selling. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.